Airlines are quietly rewriting the rulebook, and if you're 65 or older, the biggest shift in your travel power is happening right now, heading into late 2025 and 2026. The twist? These new airport and airline standards were designed to protect senior travelers, yet almost no one has been told what's actually changed. Because every time a rule updates, there's profit hiding behind it. The less you know, the easier it is for airlines to charge you for comfort you're already entitled to, or deny help that should have been automatic. But once you understand these 12 new rules, the ones airlines would prefer you never learn, the entire airport system flips. Security becomes smoother, boarding becomes quieter, seats get better, mobility help finally becomes consistent. And you start traveling with a level of confidence most seniors never realize they've earned. So today, I'm revealing the hidden airport playbook for late 2025 and all of 2026, and showing you how a few simple phrases can unlock real benefits the moment you arrive at the airport. Let's begin. Rule number 1, the new TSA medical exemption rule, 2025 to 2026. For many seniors, the security line feels like the hardest part of flying. Rushing through trays, unpacking medical items, and explaining health details in public. But entering late 2025 and all of 2026, the TSA quietly expanded its medical exemption policy, giving travelers over 65 far more protection than most officers mention. If you carry a CPAP machine, insulin, heart medication, liquid nutrition, or similar medical items, you no longer need to remove them from your bag. Not a single piece. This new rule means faster screening, less strain, and more privacy. The insider truth is that many TSA officers still default to old habits because their training hasn't caught up. They may ask you to unpack items that are now fully exempt. But seniors are automatically covered under the updated medical necessities policy. All you need is the right wording. Before your items reach the conveyor, simply say, "I'm using the updated TSA medical exemption for mobility and health items." If there's confusion, a printed or digital screenshot of TSA's medical guidelines resolves it quickly. Your key phrase is simple. My medical devices are exempt under the 2025 TSA medical policy. Use it once, and the entire screening process becomes easier. Rule number 2, the boarding priority most seniors never claim. Boarding is usually the most chaotic part of any flight. People crowding the gate, bins filling up fast, and seniors feeling rushed to keep up. But starting in late 2025 and continuing into 2026, boarding rules expanded in a way most travelers over 65 never hear about. If you have any mobility limitation, even mild arthritis, a replaced knee, or difficulty standing for long periods, you now qualify for assisted or priority boarding, even if you didn't request wheelchair service. The hidden benefit is simple. You board early, find overhead space easily, and sit down before the crowd surges forward. Airlines bury this option under special service requests, so gate agents rarely mention it unless you use the right language. When you approach the counter, say, "I'd like to add a special service request for assisted boarding." This adds a quiet note to your boarding pass, placing you in Group 1 or Group 2 without elite status or extra fees. If you use a cane, walker, or rollator, mentioning it during check-in helps the system flag you automatically. Your key phrase is, "Can you add the assisted boarding note to my reservation?" A simple request that instantly makes boarding smoother and less stressful. Rule number 3, free companion assistance upgrades. One of the biggest worries seniors have when flying is being separated from the person traveling with them. But throughout late 2025 and 2026, a strengthened accessibility rule ensures that if you receive mobility or medical assistance, your companion, whether a spouse, partner, or adult child, is entitled to stay with you through security and boarding, even if their boarding group is completely different. The hidden benefit is peace of mind. Instead of navigating the airport alone or waiting nervously at each checkpoint, both of you move together from check-in to the aircraft door. This protection comes from updates to the Air Carrier Access Act, which now requires companion continuity during the boarding process. Airlines rarely advertise it, so you must activate it yourself. At check-in, simply say, "We're traveling together and I'm under mobility assistance. Please link our boarding for companion continuity." Even if your companion is on a separate booking, gate agents can merge your boarding zones, and under the new rules, they must accommodate when related to mobility or age-based assistance. Your key phrase: "Can you link my companion under the mobility assistance rule?" One sentence ensures you stay together the entire way. Rule number 4, the wheelchair and cart coordination secret. Few things frustrate senior travelers more than requesting a wheelchair at check-in, only to be left waiting alone at security or abandoned near the gate. This happens because most major airports outsource wheelchair services to third-party contractors who hand passengers off from one worker to another, a system that creates long gaps and unnecessary stress. But late 2025 and 2026 accessibility updates changed the standard completely. Airports are now required to provide continuous mobility support, meaning that once you request assistance, you should be escorted smoothly from check-in all the way to your aircraft seat without being left behind at any checkpoint. It's one of the most significant improvements for seniors, yet still poorly communicated. To activate this benefit, be direct. Tell the airline representative, "Can you coordinate continuous mobility service from check-in through boarding?" That wording triggers a higher level of service designed to avoid handoffs and maintain a single escort. Here's the insider advantage. If you book at least 48 hours in advance, you can request a through chair escort, essentially a personal guide who stays with you the entire way. Far more reliable than standard wheelchair service. Your key phrase is, "Please mark my record for continuous assistance, no handoffs." Use it once, and your airport journey becomes far smoother and far more predictable. Rule number 5, your legal right to seat changes for accessibility. Airlines charge extra for aisle seats, bulkheads, and spots with more space. But late 2025 and 2026 DOT accessibility rules give seniors far more power than airlines admit. If you have mobility limitations, circulation issues, joint problems, or use assistive devices, you can request a more suitable seat without paying any upgrade fee, even if the seat normally costs more. The hidden benefit is huge. An aisle seat makes standing and moving easier, and bulkhead seats provide more space for mobility needs. These aren't premium upgrades for seniors. They're accessibility accommodations protected by regulation. But airlines almost never offer them unless you use the correct language. When speaking with an agent, say, "I need an accessibility seat for mobility and comfort under the DOT policy." You don't need medical paperwork, just a calm explanation. And if the agent hesitates, ask for the Complaint Resolution Official, CRO. Every airline must have one available, and they have the authority to approve accessibility seating immediately. Your key phrase? "I'm requesting an accessibility seat under the DOT regulation. Can you check availability?" It's a respectful, firm request, and it works. Rule number 6, prescription storage and cooling rights. Many seniors rely on temperature-sensitive medications, insulin, eye drops, certain heart meds, and overhead bins can heat up far more than most travelers realize. That's why late 2025 and 2026 FAA updates introduced a rule airlines rarely mention. If you ask, the cabin crew must store your temperature-sensitive medication in the aircraft's cooler. This isn't a favor or extra help. It's a requirement when requested before or during boarding. The hidden benefit is peace of mind. Instead of worrying about medicine overheating in your bag, you get safe, controlled storage handled by the crew. Most flight attendants know this rule exists, but they rarely volunteer it because it adds to their responsibilities, so it activates only when you speak up. As soon as you board, say, "I have temperature-sensitive medication. Can you store it in the crew cooler?" Meds placed in a small labeled pouch are handled faster, and returning them is easier for the crew. Your key phrase: "This is temperature-sensitive medication. FAA allows cabin storage." A simple, confident request that protects your health throughout the flight. Rule number 7. The lounge access loophole for seniors. Most travelers assume airport lounges are only for elite flyers or expensive tickets, but late 2025 and 2026 accessibility updates change that quietly. Seniors who use mobility or medical assistance now qualify for access to accessibility lounges or quiet waiting areas, calm, low-sensory spaces designed for travelers who need extra support. Some major airports, including Atlanta, Dallas, and Heathrow, even allow assisted boarding passengers to enter certain airline lounges while waiting for mobility staff. The hidden benefit is dramatic. Instead of sitting in a loud, crowded terminal, you can rest, hydrate, and prepare for your flight in a peaceful environment. No status, no membership, and no fees. But airports rarely advertise these rooms, so most seniors never know they exist. To activate this perk, simply ask, "Where is the accessibility lounge or quiet waiting area?" If you're already under assisted boarding status, staff often guide you straight inside. Your key phrase: "I'm under assisted boarding. Am I eligible for the quiet or accessibility lounge?" One question turns airport chaos into calm, and it's completely within your rights. Rule number 8. The medical cooler bag exemption. A rule almost no senior traveler hears about. Starting in late 2025 and carrying through 2026, the TSA allows one extra personal item specifically for medical needs. And this includes small insulated cooler bags for insulin, temperature-sensitive meds, nutritional liquids, or other essential health items. This extra medical bag does not count against your carry-on limit. The hidden benefit is freedom. You keep your normal carry-on and personal item plus your medical cooler without fees or repacking. But because many TSA officers still default to old rules, they may question a third item unless you use the correct wording. If that happens, say calmly, "This is my medical exemption bag under TSA's 2025 allowance." Showing a printed or digital screenshot of the updated medical exemption page ends the conversation instantly. Your key phrase: "This medical bag is exempt. It's for health items under TSA policy." Use it once, and your essential medication travels with you safely and without hassle. Rule number 9. The magic words for better gate service. Most seniors approach the gate and say, "I need help," hoping someone understands. But in late 2025 and throughout 2026, airline systems respond to specific language, not general requests. And there's one phrase that immediately changes how gate agents treat you. "I have a special service request noted on my booking." When you say this, the system flags you as an SSR passenger, meaning you qualify for early boarding, mobility support, and extra assistance. The hidden benefit is that this status follows you through every leg of your journey, but only if you activate it with the right terminology. You can even call the airline before your trip and ask them to add SSR 65 mobility support to your reservation. Once it's in the system, gate agents see it instantly at every connection. At the airport, your power line is, Can you confirm my SSR note for mobility and boarding assistance? Say it confidently, and you'll be treated with priority and care, exactly as the rules intended. Rule number 10, carry-on protection for medical and comfort items. Airlines often try to gate-check bags when overhead bins fill up, and many seniors feel forced to hand over whatever they're carrying. But through late 2025 and all of 2026, the FAA strengthened a rule that protects you far more than agents admit. If your bag contains medical devices or comfort aids, a CPAP machine, cane, medical cushion, or similar items, it cannot be taken from you unless you give explicit permission. The hidden benefit is major. Your essential devices stay with you, safe from damage, heat, or loss in the cargo hold. Gate agents rarely mention this rule because they're trained to clear space quickly, which is why the right wording matters. If someone tries to take your item, calmly say, "That's a medical device. FAA policy requires cabin storage." Adding a red medical tag to your bag helps too. Agents are trained to leave those alone. Your key phrase, "I need to keep this with me for health reasons. It's protected by FAA medical carry-on policy." Say it once and the conversation ends. Your health items stay in your hands, exactly where they belong. Rule number 11, hidden age-based fee waivers. Airlines make billions from fees. Seat changes, phone booking charges, same-day change penalties. But entering late 2025 and continuing through 2026, many US and European airlines added quiet senior service fee waivers for passengers 65 and older. These aren't discounts you see on websites. They're silent exemptions that only activate when you ask. The hidden benefit is real savings. You can get phone booking fees removed, seat reassignment fees waived, and even certain same-day change penalties canceled. But airlines never apply these automatically, especially if you booked through a third-party site. You must contact them directly. When speaking to an agent, simply say, "Can you apply the senior service fee waiver for my booking?" Most will verify your age and remove eligible fees right away. And here's the insider twist. Some airlines can credit back fees you've already paid once your age is confirmed. Your key phrase? "I understand there's a senior fee waiver. Could you check if it applies to my fare?" It's polite, confident, and surprisingly effective. Rule number 12, the courtesy override tactic. Airlines run on strict software rules, seat maps, and boarding orders. But every flight attendant and gate supervisor has one quiet power seniors rarely use, the courtesy override. It allows staff to bend certain rules in the name of passenger well-being, especially under the expanded accessibility expectations of late 2025 and 2026. The hidden benefit is subtle, but extremely valuable. A courtesy override can move you closer to the restroom, switch you to an aisle seat, or place you in a row with more space, even when the computer claims nothing is available. None of this is guaranteed, but when requested politely, it works far more often than most travelers realize. A simple example. If you're seated far from the restroom, calmly say, "I'd be more comfortable closer to the restroom. Is there any flexibility?" Flight attendants will often revisit your request once boarding is complete and open seats become visible. The secret isn't pressure, it's tone. Firm but respectful always opens more doors. Your key phrase is the one line crews instantly recognize. "If there's any courtesy flexibility, I'd appreciate it." It signals a legitimate comfort need, not entitlement, and it gives staff the room to help you in ways the system doesn't normally allow. Airlines profit from confusion, and seniors often feel the impact. The less you know, the easier it is for them to charge for comfort or overlook assistance that should already be yours. But going into late 2025 and through 2026, understanding these updated protections completely changes how you travel. Knowledge turns airports from stressful to manageable. When you're aware of TSA exemptions, priority boarding rights, accessibility seating, companion protections, medication storage rules, mobility support, and senior fee waivers, everything becomes smoother. You board earlier, stay comfortable, keep medications safe, and move through the airport with far more confidence. These aren't special favors, they're your rights. And when seniors use the right phrases clearly and calmly, airlines must honor policies they rarely mention. So on your next trip, remember, you're not asking for special treatment. You're activating protections already designed for you. Now tell me, what's the best unexpected upgrade or perk you've ever received while flying? I may feature it in a future video.